Hey guys and gals, it's Logan Freeman and
Alex Olson.
coming to you live with another episode of the Kansas City Multifamily Minute. I know every time that there we go. I know every time that we have these videos, it feels like the Chiefs are playing, but Cameron, what's his last name? Newton? Cam Newton?
Yeah. Yep.
Sounds like a Fig Newton. Fig Newton went over there and got coronavirus from somebody. Like, what are you doing, Cam? Stay in your hotel, man. Stay in the practice field. Anyways, Cam Newton made us miss our game yesterday, so they are going to get a whooping today. Shout out to Bam Childress. I know you played for the Patriots, my man, but they're gonna get it. They're gonna get it from the Chiefs. Is Cam going to play? Is he not going to play? I haven't seen. I haven't watched. I haven't heard.
I don't think he can, right? I mean, he's got coronavirus, so you got to sit out for a period of
That's
time.
true. Okay, well, that sucks for them. I don't know who their backup is, but I'm looking forward to we both had to turn tickets down. Shout out to Adam Schwery, man. Thanks for reaching out. I've been to a game with Adam, and he got me down on the field. It was awesome. And I was really hoping to go, but I have an investor in town coming in tonight, and my wife's going back to work this week, so I figured I better not go. But we'll get to a game hopefully after all of this stuff is taken care of. So with that being said, I have some things that I want to talk about today. It's not necessarily Kansas City market commentary. I'm going to let Alex talk a little bit about some development that's happening in the eastern Jackson County submarket. We will highlight a few deals that we think would be good for you guys to look at. But additionally, I want to talk about the best and worst performing commercial real estate asset classes in the wake of COVID-19. And so, this is something we haven't touched on, recently, but I don't think this thing's going anywhere anytime soon. It feels like July felt like, June felt like we might be getting over this thing. And then July came, and then August, then September. Now it's October, and our president of the United States has COVID-19. So I don't think it's going anywhere. It's something we're going to need to start living with and being safe with. But I do want to just kind of talk about the impact on different asset classes. Okay, Alex, so we're going to jump into this. And
let's do it.
I'm going to tell a little bit of story. And if you guys want to check some more of this out, I am now a regular contributor 2 times a month to Bigger Pockets. And so I want to share because some people don't like to read. Reading is good. Okay, reading is good, but some people don't like to read. And so I'm going to read you what I wrote because I think it's really good. COVID-19 has had a profound impact and effect on nearly every facet of our lives: the economy, the work, social interactions, the list goes on. Throw in the chaos of the general elections and social unrest, and here's what we have today: a bunch of uncertainty. I left my crystal ball right over there. It's right off screen, and so I'm not going to share it with you, but anyways, a bunch of uncertainty. Most of us have never experienced anything like COVID-19, both socially and economically. Shutdowns, masks, social distancing, contactless, what we're doing here, Zoom. They're all words that we never expected to be a part of our everyday vocabulary. And can you believe that the NCAA canceled March Madness? Growing up into my adult years, I always had considered the March Madness something and one sporting event that I could look forward to after the Super Bowl. Not this year, but as a sports fan, the cancellation of March Madness impacted me greatly. It was more or less a sign that other dominoes were sure to fall. That's when it was really like, man, this is something to be seriously considered, and this is something that we need to take seriously. So after reaching a record high in February, the stock market lost nearly a third of its value in March. From February to April, the United States shed 26 million jobs. The unemployment rate surged from a 50-year low, 3.5% in February, to levels not seen since the Great Depression in April, 14.7%. United States gross domestic product fell 31.7% in the second quarter. For comparison, the last quarters and in Q1, it had risen 5%. On the real estate front, the impact of COVID-19 on commercial real estate was not nearly as devastating as the impact on the broader markets, with some segments predictably suffering more than others. So, while some fared better than others, certain geographic markets also proved to weather the storm better than others. And based on research from our buddies over at CBRE, one of the country's leading commercial real estate services firms, here's how each major commercial real estate area is faring to the COVID-19 outbreak. And we're just going to touch on a few of these. We're going to touch on the ones that Alex and I deal with. We both don't want to talk about hotels because I own hotels and I'm going to pass over that. However, let's talk about office because this is an interesting one. The office sector was another sector similar to hotels that were instantly negatively impacted by lockdown measures and work from home initiatives. So let's put some things like that around leasing activity. So leasing activity in second quarter fell by 44%. Woo! 44%, increasing the national office vacancy rate 70 basis points to 13%. Now, I very well might have an office deal to bring our investors here pretty soon. I'm working with a very, very recognized office broker, but we're also negotiating some seller financing, which makes this deal very interesting. So stay tuned to that. Alex, stay on me so we make sure to get that on our list. But
Yeah,
average
absolutely.
rents in downtown office markets declined in the second quarter, and vacancy rose more sharply than in the suburban markets, consistent with prior downturns. But so in the non-gateway markets with stronger employment metrics fared better. Okay, so retail, as far as is simply as with hotels, it was no surprise that some retail suffered from the economic impact of COVID-19. However, I'm under contract with a client. This is a long-term client on a 28,000 square foot triple net lease shopping center. And it is an e-commerce resistant, service-based neighborhood retail shopping center. Say that 10 times fast. And these folks are the Family Dollars. They are the tire shops. They are the Chinese restaurant. They are the liquor store, all combined into one, strip center. And those service-based companies are doing great. Actually, some of them like Westlakes and Dollar General and Office Depot at the beginning of COVID was doing very good. So I think there's some opportunities there. We're also north of an 8% cap rate on those in Kansas City. So just be thinking about that. Given the magnitude of jobs lost in the second quarter and the rise of vacancies and drop in rents, this is in relation to multifamily. It was relatively minor compared to the drop in other sectors. Okay, so multifamily was buoyed up by federal and state stimulus programs, including enhanced unemployment benefits, which helped financially stressed apartment residents make their rent payments. However, we have now seen without new stimulus that people are still paying rents. Okay, September's rents numbers are in, and they still look pretty decent. And so, anyways, I do think there will be some more stimulus here coming. President of the United States, Donald Trump, is tweeting at Congress saying, "Get it done." So, I think it's going to happen. And might I just say, I'm not going to take one position or the other, but he did look pretty good for a 75-year-old man with COVID-19. So that guy, I feel like can he's just going to take a bullet to the head to kill that guy. But anyways, I'm not saying that you should do that, but I don't think COVID-19 is going to take our president out. Just my opinion. So what I do want to say, though, is what does all of this mean? And, where is the opportunity? Well, I think the opportunity lies in Class B multifamily, the things that Alex and I are focused on bringing you. And I also think that Class B and C properties at a lower price point. They've shown less vacancy and rent disruptions than the Class A highly amenitized dog washing properties. And in this cycle, properties located in states with the lowest unemployment rates, which 5 of the top 10 are in the Midwest. We got Minnesota. Shout out to Anthony Vicino. Nebraska. Shout out to Chris Pomerleau. North Dakota. I don't know anybody in North Dakota. Missouri. Shout out to us. And Iowa. Shout out to Adam Hunt and your wife's family. So those were all least impacted by the pandemic. So it appears that I'm and Alex are not alone in the assessment that we see investors from the coasts cashing out of properties with low cap rates and overall returns for the greener pastures in the Midwest. And I'll lead you with this. I've always said the grass is not greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it. And let me tell you, folks, it's been raining in Kansas City. All right, Alex, I had a little
Love
fun
it.
there, my man. Thoughts on my thoughts where, just in relation to the different asset classes, anything that you wanted to add to the sentiment there?
I do want to add something. I think that is that you have to look at each individual deal on its own. You can't just dismiss office or retail just because it's office or retail.
Yep.
You got to look at the location. Everything we all know, location, 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 but you got to look at that. And the second thing is you got to look at the tenants. Who are the
Yep.
tenants in there? The third thing is what's the structure and the makeup of those office buildings? Is it large, gigantic office that's going to take a large employer to come in there? Or is it a small office that maybe has your lawyers, your attorneys, your insurance broker?
Yep.
So those are important when you look at each individual deal. And then you throw on top of that, I actually really like to look at the mixed use stuff because it allows you to, typically mixed use, you've got at least some form of multifamily. So, for example, the Westport deal that we have,
That's right.
it has a couple multifamily units. Oh, and by the way, it has retail on the main floor. And oh, by the way, it also is in a top 3 retail area of Kansas City. So that's a perfect market to consider as an investment because you get to be in a great area. You get to
Yep.
dabble in the retail side of things, and you also get your multifamily.
That's right.
So it's just a good example of what to look for on an individual deal by deal basis.
Yep.
So don't just dismiss something just because there's an office or retail component to it. Because it's all about the returns and the long-term product that's available to it. Is the location sustainable? And so all those are very important. So I guess the number one thing is, don't dismiss something just because the asset class isn't perfect for you right now.
Yep. Absolutely. Those are good points. So with that being said, we do have 901 Westport Road, which is a mixed-use development right next to where Opus has just opened their doors on, well, they might have been opened up, but I think it was 253 units down there or something along those lines, but right off of Broadway there and in the middle
Pretty
of
nice looking building.
Yeah, it's a really cool building. They also have quite a bit of retail there and underground parking, which is, really unique. So long story short, man, I think that there's a very cool opportunity for Westport in Kansas City. One of the properties that I wanted to showcase today is one of our listings over on 409 and 411 East Armour Boulevard. This is the Windsor Manor Apartments. And if you're looking for a project to really kind of, what I'll say, flex your muscles on some development, this is your opportunity. It's 31 units there's not a better location in Midtown. It's right in between 5 or 6 of the Mac apartments, already developed, units and apartment complexes. We've got historical and state tax credits lined up. It's a prime location, plug and play, what I'll call development opportunity. It's a beautiful building. We've got pictures of it, historic design with brick exterior. The plans and the permits are already in place. The federal and state historical tax credits are ready to roll. It consists of 8 studios and 23 one-bedrooms. And there's multiple ground up developments nearby to reinforce that investment corridor of Midtown. So I really think it's a cool property. We've got some great, information on this deal. The gentleman that was under contract for this property who fell out, I will just say this. He has a track record of doing that. And so I'm not, I'm not thinking that it's something that was with the property. It's a big project. So I'm not going to say you're going to come in here and put $10,000 a unit into this deal. We're budgeting 50 grand a door for this property. So it's a big renovation, but it has a really cool opportunity for you to flex your muscles, to kind of put your own stamp on a property, and in one of the best areas for rentals in the city. So Windsor Manor, $1.9 million for 31 units, completely vacant, needs to be developed. Cornerstone Bank has already got an appraisal for this deal lined up and ready to go. So that's the one that I wanted to showcase today. That and alongside Westport Road, really close to Opus's brand new development. And it's just kind of continuing to highlight the development and the dollars that are flowing here to Kansas City.
Yeah, that's great. And then on my side, I want to talk a little bit about, Eastern Jackson County, Lee Summit. I've talked about it a lot. You see me all over LinkedIn.
Yep.
But they've spent, I don't know, tons of, millions and millions of dollars on their downtown. And Lee Summit used to have a population of around 50,000 people, in the early mid 90s with one high school. Now here we are 25 years later with 100,000 people, 3 high schools, thriving downtown. And so they've actually developed a $50 million or are developing a $50 million project down there, mixed use. It's going to almost look like something you'd find in, the Opus project almost.
Yeah.
So it's going to look super fancy. They also have, in addition to that project, a large public-private project, which is their city market that they're developing.
Okay.
They've always had a strong farmers market presence that brings in a lot of, local tourists, I guess, so to speak. But they're committed to developing indoor-outdoor farmers market area that's also going to be downtown, that I'm sure they'll have concerts and, those kind of things. So it's a family it's a family town in this part of the world, but there's also a lot of, young people that are hanging out down there too. So, Jackson County itself is a very large county for population-wise in Missouri, and especially on, this side of St. Louis. I think it's the most populous county. You've got Independence, Kansas City proper, Lee Summit, Raytown, and then you even go further out east, and you've got a town called Lone Jack, which is there might only be 500 people there. I don't know how many.
Yeah.
But it's all part of this side of Eastern Jackson County. And as Lee Summit continues to develop, the property prices are going up. You can't buy a single family home in Lee Summit it's hard to find something for under $300,000.
Right.
So, and there's not a lot of multifamily product available either. If there is multifamily, it's either brand new that was recently constructed in the last, 5-10 years, or 1970s, but there's not a lot of that 1970s stuff out there. So if you can get your hands on a fourplex or a duplex or a series of them, you look at people that want to get into Johnson County, Kansas, but maybe can't because it's too overpriced. There is some opportunity in Blue Springs, Lee Summit, Lone Jack, Oak Grove, all these kind of Eastern Jackson County towns that are going to get you better returns than the Johnson County stuff and appreciate like the Johnson County stuff did before. So I just wanted to highlight, the developments that are going on in Lee Summit in the eastern side.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. You continue to find good projects over in Lee Summit and Blue Springs, Independence, all of those areas. And, Eastern Jackson County is a good farm area. Obviously, I'm a little partial to it. I'm buying close to 550 units over there in Eastern Jackson County. So I believe in it. I really believe in Lee Summit and and that steakhouse that you were going to. I'm just hoping that someday that you take me to it. That's all I can
I don't know
say.
if I'm, you gotta come out east. You gotta
I know.
drive the car out there and, make it a weekend getaway or something. I don't know.
Okay. Well, we can do it. Well, Alex, do you have any closing thoughts for everybody this week?
Well, go Chiefs. That's about all I got.
Yeah, go Chiefs, and you should just continue to see the materials that we're sharing with you, increase in production value. We have a great team that's been helping us. Shout out to Jenica and Audrey Ford that have been helping Alex and I to continue to bring this to you on a weekly basis for the deal flow, bi-weekly probably on the videos, unless we're feeling frisky. And, I think that I just wanted to say thank you to them because it's a lot of work to edit these videos. It's a lot of work to put together the market commentary and send this list out. But, it's working and I'm seeing the value in it. And so are our clients. So I want to shout out to the Clemens team for making this happen and to you, Alex, for all the work that you're doing on this. And I'm excited to go get some properties under contract this week. I don't know about you.
Yes, thank you. And yes, we should be getting hopefully a few under contract, and then it's off to the races, baby.
All right. Well, that sounds good. Alex, until next time, you guys have a great day. Make it a great week, and we'll see you soon.